Hi everyone, we are back. This podcast we are going to talk about
yoga, fitness, religion, or both, investigating the origins and evolution of the ongoing confusion. We are focusing on the growing popularity of yoga, understanding the benefits and reasons behind its hype, clearing up the confusion, understanding the different styles, practices, and benefits, the physical emphasis of Western yoga, tracing its roots and exploring the cultural influences behind the confusion.
the other side.
You might have heard and seen lots of stories about yoga. The questions come here. What is yoga? Is it fitness? Is it religion? Or both? The Other Side podcast presented by
Sharmila Panikel
and Monica Sofia Perez. This podcast helps you to see the other side, and we are going to cover up most confusing and misleading topics.
Yoga, fitness, religion, or both. Investigating the origin and evolution of the ongoing confusion. The other side.
Well, let's get into this.
In the world of yoga, there are a variety of styles and practices, each with its own set of followers and enthusiasts. From power of yoga to vinyasa, Hatha yoga to Christian yoga, Kundalini yoga to naked yoga, bier yoga, and everything in between. The option can be overwhelming with so many different types of yoga and so-called gurus and masters, climbing experts. It can be difficult for beginners to navigate and find practice that is both safe and effective. Additionally, some teachers may not have a necessary training or qualification to teach yoga, yet still promote themselves as experts. This can make it challenging for people to know where to turn for reliable guidance on their yoga journey.
How can people who have never done yoga before benefit from the practice, especially when social media and online platforms often depict only young, flexible women with a beautiful body performing advanced poses, or some gurus that have big beard talking about philosophy? Are beginners, seniors, and people with health issues or mental health concerns also able to participate in yoga? I am talking about normal people, all kinds of people. How can heavyweight people avoid body shaming in yoga spaces? Other side, all these supermodels, actors, celebrities with perfect bodies practicing yoga. Additionally, many men may perceive yoga as being only for women and not manly enough to practice. With so many misconceptions and unrealistic depictions of yoga in the media, how can normal people or regular people learn about and access the true benefits of yoga and understand what yoga is?
Firstly, it's important to address that is the common issue in Western countries. Monica, these are great questions and concerns that many people have when they first encounter yoga. It is true that social media and online platforms can sometimes present narrow and unrealistic view of what yoga is all about, and this can lead to confusion, body shaming, and other issues. Here people are focusing business part, and that's the problem. And online, because they want to increase traffic, online traffic, like and follows. That's why the beautiful girls come here. Yep. That's why, however, it is important to note that yoga is a practice that can benefit people of all ages, body type, and levels of fitness. In fact, one of the beautiful things about yoga is that it is adaptable and can be modified to meet the needs of each individual practitioners. Whether you are a beginner or senior or someone dealing with health issues, there is a way to practice yoga that is safe and appropriate for you. And I think yoga should not be practiced in a fitness center. That's my opinion. Because they are crowded with the machines and digital screens and loud music. Yoga is not just about physical movement. It is a holistic practice that involve in the mind, body and spirit. Practicing yoga in a peaceful and serene environment such as in nature or in a studio with a peaceful ambience can enhance the benefit of the practice. So
you mean that yoga cannot be approached just as a physical practice, but also it should include mental and emotional well-being. The sensory organs need to be at peace to fully experience the benefits of yoga. The disturbance caused by the loud music and digital screens in fitness centers can distract the mind, which is counterproductive to the practice of yoga. Practicing yoga in nature or in a peaceful studio can help in creating a relaxing and rejuvenating atmosphere, which can help in achieving mental clarity and emotional balance. As you rightly mentioned, yoga is a long-term process, and it is important to take it gradually. With regular practice, one can slowly progress towards achieving the state of joy and peace, which is the ultimate goal of yoga.
Yeah, exactly. For me, the best place to do yoga is in the great outdoors. I mean, there is nothing quite like breathing in the fresh air and you get to enjoy nature beauty and all the benefits that come with it. And pranayama help you to increase oxygen level in your body. So of course, if you can't get outside or you just prefer a more controlled environment, then yoga studio with a peaceful ambience is also a great option. The key is to find a place where you can relax and focus on your practice without any distraction to your sensory and sense organs.
Distractions to your sensory organs can come in various forms, right, Sadmila? Like loud noises, bright lights, unpleasant smells, and uncomfortable temperatures. And all these distractions can interfere with your ability to focus and concentrate, making it difficult to fully engage in your yoga practice. To fully benefit from your yoga practice, it is important to find a peaceful and quiet environment where you can focus on your breath and movements. This can be in a natural outdoor setting or in a yoga studio with a calming ambience. By minimizing distractions to your sensory organs, you can enhance your ability to engage fully in your yoga practice and experience the state of joy and peace. Practicing yoga in a room with an unpleasant smell or an uncomfortable temperature can also make it difficult to fully relax. So to get started with yoga, it is helpful to find a reputable teacher or studio that offers classes for beginners or the specific population, such as seniors or people with injuries. This can be a great way to learn the basics of yoga, to receive guidance and support, and to connect with a community of like-minded individuals. It is also important to remember that yoga is not just about physical postures or flexibility. It is a holistic practice, lifestyle, and best fitness program for your mind. And it includes breathing techniques, meditation, mudras, mantras, kriyas, strictly following the yamas and niyamas. So even if you don't have a perfect yoga body or feel intimidated by some of the images you have seen online, there is still much to gain from practicing yoga. As for the issue of gender and body image, it is important to recognize that yoga is not just for women, and that there are many men who practice and benefit from yoga. Additionally, yoga can be a powerful tool for body positivity and self-acceptance, as it encourages us to connect with our bodies in a non-judgmental way and to cultivate a sense of inner peace and balance.
It's a practice that can bring tremendous benefit to anyone who is open to it by seeking out reputable teachers and resources. focusing on your own journey and needs and approaching yoga with an open mind and heart, you can discover the true beauty and transformative power of this ancient practice.
Why so much confusion surrounding what yoga is?
Let us revisit the time when yoga first made its way to the Western world. One of the most influential teachers who helped bring yoga to the Western world was V.K.S. Iyengar, who was focused more physical yoga, which is called asanas. He was an Indian yoga teacher who is credited with developing precise and systematic approach to practice of yoga. Physical exercise. Iyengar teaching emphasized the use of props such as the straps and blocks to help students achieve proper alignment in the process. Another influential figure in the Western yoga world was Pattabhi Jois, who developed the style of yoga known as a Ashtanga vinyasa. This dynamic and physical demanding form of yoga gained as a following in the West during the 1970s and 1980s. Other notable teachers who played a significant role in popularizing yoga in the West including T.K.S. Devikachar, who taught a more individualized approach to yoga, and Indira Devi, who brought yoga to Hollywood and taught celebrities such as Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth Taylor. Thanks to these teachers, because of that, people all over the world are now exposed to physical yoga, which is asanas, which mainly focus on asanas. However, when you talk about yoga, it doesn't just end with these asanas. There are many textbooks available on this practice of yoga, and none of them predated the earliest reference to Yoga Sutra. So, we can say the Yoga Sutra is the book, the first textbook with a total lineage of yoga, step by step mentioned, that is Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. You can also see so many references about yoga in Sankhya philosophy. In fact, yoga and Sankhya are linked, but today we have only one structured old textbook which we consider Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So all others are interpretation and references from Yoga Sutra. These are essentially like a Yoga Sutra I'm talking about, that is aphorisms. Sutra means to thread minimal knowledge into the maximum word. It consists from Samadhi Pada to Kaivalya Pada. That means this book has 4 chapters. First chapter's name is Samadhi Pada, the last is Kaivalya Pada. And you cannot reject one pada and look into another pada. Otherwise, it won't link correctly and connect the sutras correctly. Yeah? Therefore, you cannot neglect any sutras, and these aphorisms are well edited, and you can only provide commentary on them. You cannot rewrite them. It's a well-formed textbook, well structured. We also have other texts like a Hatha Yoga Pradika, Garuda Samhita, Yoga Ratnavali, Shiva Samhita, etc. It goes on big list. All of which acknowledge Patanjali's Yoga Sutra as the standard textbook. They all have references from Yoga Sutra. That's why physical fitness teachers have a problem understanding this concept. And the Western world doesn't easily believe in this holistic concept. We believe in specialization, not in holistic approach. That's why people are confused with this concept. Now things are changing gradually since 1970, because people have started accepting this globalization process, this holistic approach as well. In Asian culture, especially in Indian medicine, health, astronomy, architecture, look into the temple architecture concept, agriculture and food, all this you can see holistic concept. This holistic concept of energy, holistic approach everywhere, every science in India you can see. We believe that everything is connected, like the 5 elements concept. The universe is made of 5 elements and our body as well. Ayurveda, which is Indian natural medicine, is based on this theory, and yoga is the sister science of Ayurveda. When yoga came to the Western world, Ayurveda did not come, which has also created lots of confusion. We also have a couple of other problems, such as teachers are not able to explain Yoga Sutra rightly. Interpretation of this textbook. Many translation, the text has not found the right word for this concept. That is why the confusion. Because it's such a complex text written in Sanskrit language. Sanskrit language is like that. It's in a very few words. It can give elaborated form of meaning. From religious perspective, people have been practicing yoga for thousands of years. So I cannot say that I'm bringing it to you the religious point of view. There is no religion. That's why my point. So listen to me. Evidence of yoga practice can be traced back to 5,000 years ago. Although we have also found evidence of yoga being practiced in the ancient Indus Valley civilization through some of the oldest sculptures. They discovered that during this time people did not necessarily believe in any particular religion. So how can yoga become religious practice? Instead, focused on nature, energy, consciousness in their practice of yoga. So individual consciousness and cosmic consciousness are the essence of yoga, and therefore it does not have any religion, color or race. Anyone can practice yoga regardless of their sex or gender identity. Whatever belief system you have, you can still practice yoga, as it is not dependent on any specific belief system. When practicing yoga in the context of Western anatomy, the focus is primarily on the limbic and endocrine system, which in turn provide benefit for both body and mind as whole, entire system of the body.
When we talk about the limbic and endocrine systems, we refer to the physiology of the body. The limbic system is the part of the brain involved in our behavioral and emotional responses, especially when it comes to behaviors we need for survival, feeding, reproduction, and caring for our young, and the fight or flight responses. And the limbic system influences the endocrine system, which is the glands that produce hormones that regulate many of our bodily functions. It also affects the autonomic nervous system, which controls some unconscious functions like our thirst, hunger, heart rate, and biological clock or circadian rhythms. Can you explain this connection with the Yoga Sutra?
Yoga Sutra mentioned only one sentence about asana. Yoga Sutra has 4 chapters. First chapter start with Samadhi Pada. It's the first chapter, which start with Tat Atva Yoga Nushanasanam. Then he says Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Actually, asana as one of the technique from other 7 angas, like we say 8 limbs, ashtanga, to achieve samadhi. That's why the Samadhi Pada explain about the state of joy and peace. How do you receive that? That is why we need Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Nirodha is cutting away. Vritti means wave of thoughts. Chitta is a mind. So what Patanjali is trying to say here, elimination of the distraction and disturbance, conflict of the mind. That is the first chapter Samadhi Pada to help. And to cleaning techniques, we use the second chapter Sadhana Pada, which explained in Yamanemas like Ashtanga, 8 limbs. Okay, when you say that Yamanema, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dana, Samadhi. These angas, these are the 8 limbs. To help us to do vritti, that means clean up the mind. These are techniques and lifestyle. So we are talking about asana practice, physical yoga part I am talking about. Sadhana Pada, which is in this chapter, there is only one sentence talking about asana. That means it's one of the techniques compared to all these 8 methods. So there Patanjali said, Sthiram Sugam Yogasana. What it means, where continuous comfort and stability and painless position. If asana gives painful experience, you should not practice the asana. That means you gradually practice according to your range, and then you reach there, and you should be able to relax in this experience of while doing asana. Every asana you need to have that. So then you can perform dhyana, meditation, because that's our goal to reach. When you stay in a longer time without any discomfort, which is called asana siddhi. That's why we are practicing asana. So asana main focus is get asana siddhi. There is nobody here talking about yoga flow or number of asanas. And here they are focusing about the asana siddhi. And Ashtanga, 8 angas, talk about 8 angas, that does mean 8 limbs. Again, I'm repeatedly telling because there are a lot of confusion about this. Yamanema, again I told you the same thing. Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dana, samadhi. These are 8 limbs. 8 limbs will help. These are techniques. You use it to reach there. So if we talk about this is in detail, we need to have another podcast. So that's for the other time. So I think you understood what it is Patanjali trying to say here. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra mainly mentioning, focusing us to get into the dhyana, to meditation position, where it to clean up our mind. Here the mind is the hero. So Patanjali helping us to eliminate and distraction and disturbance and conflict of the mind. The book states very clearly, the Yoga Sutra first chapter start with that Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Here the focus is on the mind, which means achieving joyful and peaceful state of mind. And second chapter, Sadhana Pada explain about techniques need to be used, get mind there, to help to clean the mind. And second chapter Sadhana Pada explained the Ashtanga as well in that. That's why we have this Ashtanga discussion everywhere. Ashtanga is discovered by this teacher, that teacher, but every book very clearly telling about this Ashtanga's reference come from Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So now here we are talking about asana practice, physical yoga part, referring to the concept of vritti, that means your thought process. In the context of yoga practice, as I said, in yoga philosophy, vritti referred to the relaxation of the mind that causes restlessness, distraction and disturbance. The practice of yoga aims to still and focus. So these fluctuations bring about a state of inner peace and clarity. That's why asanas you need to do slow and steady, sthiram sugam asana, and focus.
So, as a summary, in the first chapter, Patanjali focuses on how to bring the mind to a peaceful and joyful state. And on his second chapter, he explains which techniques to use to reach that state.
Yes, you are right. That's why samadhi is in the context here. It's a meditative mind, and there are so many methods you can use it that. So mind is a problem here. So Patanjali telling us how to calm your mind and restructure your mind and heal your mind. For that, how to use certain techniques, because it's so easy to say you can calm and think positively, do this, but you need to have techniques and tools to reach there. That's what Patanjali is trying to tell us. So each asana, we are trying to reach that. So example, focusing on the direction, whether it be through asana practice or pranayama or a meditation, can help to calm the mind and bring about state of inward focus. By turning your attention away from external perception and focusing on your inner experience, you will be able to observe and gradually clear unwanted thoughts and distractions. So every asana, one should be focused and turn inward. That's the idea here. So there is no dance and there is no flow, there is no acrobatic movement happening. Everything focus, steady and concentrate, and inward concentration. Turn inward. That's what we want. That is the way we try to clean up entire system. So pranayama can help to increase oxygenation in the body. That's another yogic breathing techniques, and promote relaxation, clarity of mind. Similarly, we reach into dhyana, the meditation can help to cultivate a state of inner peace and joy. So you are turning your mind into inward. In the process, there is no outward perception because our outward perception do not allow us to calm down. We are constantly on the process. So in this yogic process, we are completely stopping our outward perception. We are turning our mind inward. So only one side we are working. And that helps us to heal. Every single day, you are perceiving a lot of negative and positive thoughts in your life. Various thoughts with your daily activities, which you may not able to clear without the proper tools or systems. This is where yoga comes in handy. It helps to eliminate these thoughts. That's why the various limbs of yoga or ankas are important. If we don't eliminate unwanted thoughts on daily basis, our senses will start to control us and we will lose control of ourselves, living and working like a machines on autopilot. That will be our situation. Because we need to clean up our mind and then we need to have a control on our senses. That's why this whole process we need in a right way. So in yogi believes the mind is a hero. Yogic mind anatomy is very interesting, which we can discuss in another time. Everything you do in yoga is associated with your senses. So yogis are very careful. They do not want unwanted imprint in their consciousness. That they are that much protected when they receive something. So that's what we are trying to achieve through yoga. Because our mind, we are unable to control. Mind can take a note from every single action we encounter, whether we like it or not. So we need to learn, we need to have some tools to get there where we don't have to have any perception, some period of time to reset and recorrect our system. So that's what yoga is all together. So the problem arises when some school do not teach Yoga Sutra properly to their teachers students. I'm talking about the teacher trainers who become a future teachers, resulting in individuals who learn yoga only as a physical exercise and fail to grasp its deeper concept to yoga. That's what we have a problem here. It has come to my attention that some schools offer 1 week program to become a yoga teacher. And this can lead to confusion among students who may view yoga as only a physical exercise. Despite this, yoga has become popular practice worldwide due to this numerous physical, mental and spiritual benefit. It is crucial for individuals to select appropriate teachers and programs to ensure deeper understanding and appreciation of yoga. Many other teachers are preoccupied with reinventing and altering the fundamental principles of yoga, which result in confusion and misunderstanding among the various yoga schools. At the end we have yoga like naked yoga and bier yoga, etc. I don't even know what they mean. Here, especially in the bier yoga people I'm talking about, if you consume substance and practice yoga, it can mess with your body and mind because these are very scientifically designed programs to work with the central nervous system. I think we don't need trouble, I think we don't need substance for this. So I think that's a problem here, So wheel has already been discovered. So why reinvent it? Yoga has been practiced for thousands of years and teachers should stop branding it and treating it as a physical exercise program. There are many other physical exercise programs available, but yoga is uniquely designed for a holistic well-being. And if you want to practice any other physical form, you can practice so many other exercises. We have all fitness center, many other physical activity like sports you can play. Why do we need to change yoga and make it as a physical form, which is the only one at the moment well designed for our mind and spirit and complete cleaning up ourselves? So let us continue that.
Well said, Sharmila. Let's not corrupt yoga and turn it into something else. People often focus on physical fitness and neglect their mental health, which is a huge problem nowadays as stress can be a killer. We are always on the run for work, earning money, and taking care of our families, leaving us with no time to relax. Even when we exercise, many people are running on treadmills or watching TV at the same time, which does not allow them to fully relax and reset their nerves. They are like emotional time bombs with no time for relaxation, and they can explode at any moment. And that's why we have more stress-related diseases and burnouts, even though people may be physically fit.
Therefore, people should practice yoga and not waste their energy and time trying to make it into something else. Let yoga remain ageless, sexless, raceless, and colorless for all mankind. Once again, thanks to Patanjali
for giving us such a beautiful science to us. Thank you all for listening to us, and please follow us and share our podcast so we can come up with many other interesting topics. We are available on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, and Spotify. Then you will be able to receive updates as soon as we release a new episode. The Other Side. Thank you, Sharmila.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.